Welcome back to another work with me. Today I'm working on a Namine Ritsu cosplay for Dollfie Dream Dynamite. I started with the cage skirt, so that the whole tiered skirt can be held up properly. The process was a mess, so in short I used white bias tape, a piece that snaps around on the waist, 4 circular pieces with wire embedded, and 4 pieces that start from the waist and connect to the 4 rings. I'm sure you'll find much better tutorials for something like this elsewhere online. Then I made the skirt. I have a waistband that attaches to a half circle skirt piece, then a smaller rectangle, a circle skirt piece, and a larger rectangle that go together accordingly. The larger rectangle has some patterns that resemble piano keys, so I made a template on a computer, printed it out, traced it on baking paper, pinned it to the skirt piece and sewn onto the skirt through the paper, and naturally removed the paper, which was somewhat satisfying. Then I made some belt loops with tiny rectangles, folding over, pinning and sewing the sides before pressing the seams. I pleat some yellow ribbon onto a burgundy ribbon before pleating the burgundy ribbon onto the big rectangle. Off screen, I painted details onto the circle skirt part. Thereafter, I sewed that onto the large rectangle. Also off screen, I added some blue stitching lines to the smaller rectangle, which I'll stitch to the circle skirt piece and then to the half circle skirt piece. After the basic skirt is done, I gather some yellow ribbon and sew it to a trapezium shaped white fabric, which is already pleated, before sewing it to one side of the skirt opening and sewing an orange brown ribbon on top of the edge where the ruffles start. Next, the waistband. I put the two parts together, sew up the short sides, place the belt loops in between the two pieces before sewing up the top seam, tipping corners, turning it inside out and pressing the seams. After sewing the waistband to the skirt, I add snaps and velcro for closures and a dark blue ruffle on the very bottom of the skirt, and the skirt is done. Next, the shirt. I started off sewing some darts into the front pieces before sewing the fronts to the back at the shoulders, good side to good side. I sew up one of the front center pieces to the left front side before sewing up two sides of the Seifuku triangle piece thingy, whatever. I then pin and sew the sleeve cuffs to the sleeves before sewing the sleeves into the shoulders while gathering the sleeves for some puffiness. I sew my white pleated fabric to some white polycotton for a backing before sewing some velcro onto it and on the already attached front centerpiece so they can velcro onto each other. I add some gathered yellow ribbon to the sides of the pleated front centerpiece before adding the orange ribbon on top again, along with some black ribbons for details. Moving on to the collar piece, I sew some black ribbons on to look like piano keys to one piece before sewing on another yellow ruffle, sandwiching it between the two collars, clipping curves, flipping it inside out and pressing seams, whereafter I sew the collar onto the rest of the shirt, sew the seifukuta angle thingy on, and after that I sew up the side seams, finish the bottom with a ruffle, and the shirt is done. Lastly, the arm warmers. I have 4 faux leather panels painted with the lights and buttons and whatnot on the sleeves, 2 fabric pieces, 2 lining pieces and ribbon. I start by sewing the lining of the fabric at the top, adding an orange ribbon on the top fabric side for decoration. Adding the panels on the fabric and pinning the yellow ruffles on the bottom of the lining towards the inside. I then close up the sleeves good side to good side, sew the bottom before turning it inside out, sewing the orange ribbon next to the ruffles. Sewing an elastic channel on top, threading the elastic through, drawing them tight before folding the sleeves in half to sew up the sides. And we're done. I hope you enjoyed and stay subscribed for more. My upload schedule is back to every 2 weeks though. Thanks for watching. Bye!